Derby County have been linked to the signing of FC Nuremberg striker Mahir Emreli. Now, he is 27 years old from Azerbaijan, where he's made 54 appearances for the senior national team, scoring just 6 goals. Now, he is a striker standing at 1.87 metres tall, and his contract does expire at the end of this month. Now, across the course of this season, he has been one of the main strikers for FC Nuremberg in Bundesliga 2, where he's gone on to play 25 games this season, scoring 11 goals, collecting 1 assist, as well as 9 yellow cards, with 1,575 minutes of football played. Now, he can play across the course of the front three, but he's most notably a number 9. 21 out of those 25 games for FC Nuremberg were as a number 9. One of them was a right winger, and there's 3 games of which his position has not been listed. Now, obviously, Derby County needs strikers, but is Mahir Emreli the right one? Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com. Create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, Emreli has had quite a decent career across the course of however many years. It has been playing for the likes of Kaiserslauten, FC Baku, obviously now at Nuremberg, as well as playing for Legia Warsaw and Dynamo Zagreb. He's also played for Karabag as well. Now, he's made the most appearances at Karabag, where he played 187 times, scoring 68 goals, collecting 24 assists. At Dynamo Zagreb, it was 10 goals and 5 assists in 47 appearances, 11 goals and 2 assists in 33 for Legia Warsaw. Didn't score for FC Baku in 16 appearances, and has played 12 times for Kaiserslauten, scoring twice. Now, obviously, when you look at a player like Mahir Emreli, you want sort of to know that you're going to be able to score goals. And I think he does that across the course of his career. 320 appearances, 102 goals, 32 assists, 45 yellows, 2 reds in 19,294 minutes. I certainly think there's quality on the ball and in a goal scoring department for Mahir Emreli. But is it enough to sort of take you to that sort of position where he's going to sort of be sort of Derby's number 1, let's say, because that's sort of what we're looking for at Derby County now, is having like the best sort of striker that we can possibly have available to us. Now, across the course of the last season, he has missed 39 days, 4 games for FC Nuremberg, with an ankle injury and a metacarpal fracture. He's also had a ton of different injuries as well, but nothing really major or long-term that I can find over the course of, obviously, in transfer market. But if we look at it on season by season, his worst season when it comes to injuries was back in 2019-20, where he had 6 injuries, which took him out for 90 days, missing 15 games of football. And obviously for Derby County, you want to be able to have players that you can rely on and players that are going to play a ton of football. Now, obviously, when we look at his market value, it's sort of been in and around sort of the £1 to £2 million region across the course of the last 4 or 5 years. And I do believe that Emreli has the opportunity to be sort of a big thing for Derby County moving forward. And if he was to sign for Derby, obviously we have to acknowledge that there is interest from other clubs, including the likes of FC Kaiserslauten as well as Hull City. I do believe that he could have an impact at Derby, and I think many people will agree on that as well, because this is exactly the type of player that Derby County need. Now, across the course of his career, he's picked up the goal scorer award twice in the Premier League, which I believe is the Azerbaijani league, the Azerbaijani First Division, which is their version of the Premier League. And I do believe that there's a lot of quality from Mahir Emreli, but is he better than Selverson? is he better than Dejan Brown, and has he sort of got that ability to be a really important player for Derby County this upcoming year? I'm not entirely sure right now, but it's obviously something which will be addressed over the course of sort of the next few weeks. I think if we go and look at what FC Kaiserslauten have been saying, they're anticipating that a decision on his future will be made over the course of the next 1 to 2 weeks, which I think is obviously really important. I'm assuming that will be to do with obviously his contract expiration, and obviously I think both in Germany and in England, I think pre-season a lot of the time starts sort of back up in and around sort of the start of July, first or second week of July, which is obviously really important. At Derby County, I think it's our first pre-season friendly, I believe the 13th of July, which obviously is against, is it Matlock Town if I remember rightly? So obviously Derby County will be wanting to have players in for those sort of early stages. And do I believe that Emreli can sort of be that sort of number 9 that Derby County need? I think he absolutely can. He's tall, he knows where the back of the net is, he's an international footballer, so he's got to have something about him. I know Azerbaijan aren't the most highest rated team, but to play international football, you've got to be some kind of decent. And he's done really well in the Bundesliga, second Bundesliga, sorry, for FC Nuremberg, which is obviously sort of really important. 10 goals in 24 appearances in 1,483. Is that 83 or 93 minutes, which is obviously really good, and he's scored a lot of goals across the course of his career. Had a couple of sort of dry seasons with the likes of Dynamo Zagreb, but it's one of those for me where I think I do think there's quality there, and I do think if Derby County pick him up and John Eustace gets a hold of him, I think he could be a really, really good player for Derby County. Obviously, there's a lot to sort of go off when it comes to the likes of Derby County and the transfer window at the moment. Obviously, there's been some more reports on Cody Drummer, which I'm going to get into in another video, and there's obviously situations that are ongoing with the likes of Craig Forsyth, the likes of Liam Thompson, and things like that, which we're still waiting for confirmation on what is happening with them across the course of the next few years. Now, obviously, when Derby County are looking at that striker position, it's obviously only Dejan Brown and Lars-Jørgen Salverson as I'm recording this video, which makes it really sort of easy to sort of put Emreli straight into sort of not necessarily the starting 11, but sort of make sure he's in that sort of squad essentially, because we sort of need quality additions, and I certainly believe that he has quality. 59 goals in 140 appearances in the Premier Liga, which is the Azerbaijani First Division, and he's played in Champions League games, he's played in Europa League games, and he's played in the Conference League and things like that. So he's got quality. He's got quality in him, quite obviously, and it's just about making sure that Derby County can sort of get the most out of him, and that will obviously be purely down to what John Eustace does and how John Eustace sort of deals with obviously this transfer window, and obviously then sort of heading into next season which way we want to play, because there's a lot of people thinking we're going to play a 4-3-3, there's some saying 4-2-3-1, there's also some saying that we're going to be playing more of a 3-5-2 formation, but ultimately we won't have any confirmation of that until what I'm going to say the end of July, when we've seen all the pre-season games, because I don't believe that Eustace is going to go in focusing on purely one formation. I think he'll sort of move it around and play a range of different formations, as we saw last year. Played 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 3-5-2, 3-4-3, all with Eustace in charge. And obviously, at the moment, if you put a Derby County side together, we don't have the wingers to play a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So obviously that's something which is going to have to be dealt with across the course of the next few weeks, which hopefully will be by John Eustace and Derby County. Now, you can obviously let me know your thoughts down in the comments if you have not done so already. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell, and I'll catch you in my next video. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.